profession you could possibly think of. That's the way we get rewarded. They don't say to you, well, hey, congratulations, we're at the end of the year, and you are still alive. So, you've added another year onto your tenure here, so congratulations, here comes your raise. Now, your performance was awful. You didn't do what we asked you to do. You didn't produce the product we wanted you to produce. But we don't look at that. All we look at is, are you still breathing? Congratulations, you are still breathing. Open up the bank account, here comes the money. Now, it's laughable, right? It's what happens every day. Every day in New Jersey, that's what happens. Now, there'll be some who will tell you, the defenders of the status quo, that this is an attack on teachers. Now, what I'm saying is an attack on teachers. And let me say, I agree. But here's the difference. They say it's an attack on all teachers. I say that that kind of system is an attack on only one set of teachers, the good ones. Only an attack on the good ones. Because the good teacher who produces great results for their students, they deserve to be paid more. They deserve to be rewarded for what they're doing. They do great work in the we have entrenched interests in this state and around the nation who know that the inexorable truth that flows from that action is the bad ones don't deserve to get paid, the bad ones deserve to be fired, and when they are, that somehow weakens the force of their political organization. So they make a decision. Their decision is, don't reward the good ones more. Protect all of them. In Waiting for Superman, they talk about in the state of New York that it is so impossibly difficult to fire teachers. And it's not much different here in New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. But in the state of New York, they have a place they call the rubber room. What is the rubber room? The rubber room is the place they send awful teachers who they cannot fire. And they sit in a room all day, every day, read newspapers, read books, listen to music, and get paid their full salary. Because the school district, because of the contracts that they are forced to execute by the teachers union, the school districts cannot fire these people. Or they decide it would cost them so much money to try to go through that process, and the process is going to be a failure at the end anyway. They decide it's more economically efficient to pay these people to sit in a room, and they have it in the movie. Wait till you see it. They have the room in the movie with these folks sitting around reading the paper, playing cards. All of them paid public school teachers in the state of New York, because the system has become so corroded that that's what exists. The only thing more sinful than that, I guess, would be to leave those people in front of a classroom trying to teach kids. Are those the two alternatives we have to live with in America? To pay people who are failures for doing nothing? Or to allow them to fail our children and pay them for it? No other profession deals with its failures that way. And so, Waiting for Superman is a clarion call to the nation. And it says things in that movie that we've been saying in New Jersey now for the last 9 months. And so understand very clearly as I lay out these proposed reforms today to all of you, that I am doing this for two very simple reasons. First, because you as taxpayers and your families as the mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers, aunts and uncles of our next generation. All of you deserve better than what the system is giving you, and our reforms will help to lead to that better system for those families in New Jersey. And secondly, because I want to finally put the lie to the myth being pushed out there by the union that I oppose teachers, that I oppose public education, that I don't like or value teachers. Let me be as plain as I can be, and you know when I want to be plain, I can be fair and I am a product of the public school system in this state. I would not be standing here if not for the fact that I had wonderful teachers and a great school system that prepared me for college and law school and for all the things that I've had to confront intellectually and professionally in my life. But I have no patience any longer for a system that says, that's good for me, but depending on your zip code, it doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for some other set of children. They won't have the same opportunity to be governor that I had because that education gave me that opportunity. So I do not bash teachers. I bash their stubborn, self-interested union. That's why. So let's talk about what we're going to do. I'm going to lay out 6 different reform ideas today. 4 of them, this administration will do without requiring any statutory changes or any action by the legislature. 2 of them will require action by the legislature. So let's start off with the things I can do without the legislature, which is my favorite thing. First, we need to enhance school districts' capabilities to measure student learning in the classroom. We cannot know whether we're succeeding or failing if we don't know whether our children are succeeding or failing. And so the current data systems that we have just aren't capable of linking student achievement and teacher and principal performance. And that's the underpinning of what we have to achieve. So first, we have to do a much better job at that. So I will make sure that there will be $10 million in my budgets over the next 2 years to enhance New Jersey's educational data system, which is called NJ Smart. We'll do those funds in 2012 budget, next year's budget, and 2013. And we will make sure that it gets funded. I will fight to make sure it gets funded so we can finally see for sure how our children are doing so we can take the logical next step. Secondly, we have to elevate the importance of teacher evaluations by making student learning the primary component of the assessment of a teacher's effectiveness, and by using those evaluations for all key personnel decisions that we make in our public school system. So what do I mean? We are going to sign, and I did sign backstage before I came out, an executive order which sets up the task force on teacher effectiveness. I will appoint 9 experts in the field of public education, and I want them to deliver to me a fair and thorough and data-driven teacher evaluation system in the next 6 months. There is no preconceived result that I want here, except for this. Come to me with a system that you can guarantee me will be able to evaluate teachers in a fair and thorough way. So we will appoint these experts in the next week or 10 days in consultation with the Acting Commissioner of Education so that by March of next year, excuse me, they can deliver to me an evaluation system that can work for teachers. These evaluations should be based largely, more than 50%, on student achievement. And they should be used to inform all of the key personnel decisions we make: licensing, recruiting, tenure, compensation, promotion, professional development, and whether you keep your job or you don't. It should be based on how they perform in the classroom and how their students achieve, not anything else. Third, Third, I want to expand the pool of high-quality principals. We all know that teachers are not the only people who make a school work. You need strong leadership, you need strong, well-trained, well-informed principals to provide the leadership and the discipline necessary to have a good functioning school. For all of you who've had children in school, you know the principal is also a key factor in a well-run, high-achieving school. And so we want to provide alternate route programs for principals to be able to become principals. The regulations now so stymie some of the most talented people to become principals because of all of these requirements that get put in the way that really are nothing but mindless box checking. Let's allow alternate routes so that great principals can have the ability to get there and help lead schools in a new cutting-edge way. So we're going to provide alternate routes for principals to get into those positions and to provide a new kind of cutting-edge leadership to our schools. Lastly, we want to expand professional opportunities for our most effective teachers. Because in the end, the most effective teachers and the most effective principals deserve to be rewarded and paid for the job that they do. There is really no more important job in our society than preparing our next generation. Now, just because your title is teacher does not mean you deserve the honor and the respect that goes along with what you're supposed to achieve. You must have the title and do the achievement as well. Then you get the respect. Under the current system, the union demands that the mere attaining of the title for 3 years means that you deserve to have a job for life, whether you are good or whether you are awful, whether you are great or a raging failure. I would love in this 9.6% unemployment world to see where anywhere else you get to keep. We've got great people being laid off because of this economy, and we have lousy teachers that we're paying each and every day. Let's pay the difference. So the state is going to create new designations of master teacher and master principal, which is going to provide new professional opportunities to highly effective teachers and school leaders. They'll take on additional responsibilities when they achieve this role, of professional development of some of their colleagues, mentoring of some of their newer and younger colleagues. And they'll be eligible for new opportunities, such as a streamlined path towards being a founder of a charter school. If good master teachers and master principals then want to go out and use those things they've learned over the course of time and the ideas they've devised to start a new charter school that uses those functions, we should make it easy for them to get there. Because we need more good charter schools, not less. We need more great teachers and great principals leading more great institutions of learning, not less. We should not be afraid of this. We should embrace it. And by the actions we're going to take today, we are going to make that happen in New Jersey.